Hey guys, it's your favorite Dinobot here, and today we're actually going into the Season 1 finale of this series here. This will be a 5-part special, as we are replacing Stronger and Faster, One Shall Fall, and the One Shall Rise 3-part specials here. So without further ado, let us begin. Last time we left off here, Megatron, with his new upgraded Unuchium body and the Darkspark, went to Outpost Omega and recruited both Skyquake and Dreadwing, and gave them a dark energon boost. And in doing so, he comes back to Earth after one of Starscream's failed attempts, which got Skywarp killed by Windblade and Grimlock viciously, has the Decepticons construct an interdimensional space bridge to bring his new master and their new ally forward here. After which, he actually needed a power generator, to which he took it from a military base, but in doing so was confronted by Optimus, Grimlock, Windblade, Cliffjumper, and Bulkhead, to which he had the Combaticons, Knockout, Breakdown, and the Enforcers, which I am going to call Dreadwing and Skyquake from going forward here. To which the battle was tough. Even with Megatron's new hacks and abilities here, Grimlock reached a new level of rage, something unstable, something more primal than it was before, and well, he used it to beat Megatron. Well, or at least injure him critically, to the point where Megatron decided that now that they have what they need, they can now leave. And that's where we pick up here, with Grimlock still in this uncontrollable rage here. The Autobots, albeit some of them are badly, wounded or bruised up from their confrontation with the Decepticons now, they understand that they have to get their heavy hitter under control here. And so Optimus and Windblade are the ones to step forward here, while Bulkhead and Cliffjumper kind of hang back just in case here. Grimlock's rage is on a whole new level here, and he actually begins thrashing around charred or destroyed remnants of militaristic vehicles here, to which Optimus is able to get an upper hand on Grimlock as he attacks him from behind, no diddy, and pretty much restrains him in a full Nelson, while Windblade is able to get in front of him and calm him down. It's slow, but again, it is enough for Grimlock to calm down, but he feels different. That rage was something new to him. He doesn't know what it was here, and he does apologize to Windblade, who cups his face and tells him that she always believed that he would be able to control himself, but she understands that he is still growing and he is still evolving past what Shockwave originally intended for him to be here. And so she will make sure she keeps a closer eye on him. To which, now that being said here, Optimus does get Cliffjumper and Bulkhead back to base here, along with obviously Grimlock and Windblade here, so the Autobots all get back to base here, and they're actually getting repaired by Ratchet, to which Optimus explains that Megatron took a power generator, and well, he's now got Skyquake and Dreadwing on his side here, to which the Autobots are now discussing amongst themselves, well, what are they going to do? What is he really building the power generator for here? And to which they all try to come up with their conclusions here. And well, considering Megatron is upgraded much more than before here, they think that he got this from somebody. And what if he needs a power generator to bring that person here forward? To which Ratchet actually does begin, some old sketches, does be, digging into some of the old Decepticon archives, because remember in the last part of Hearts of Fire and Wind, Grimlock and Windblade both discovered the Harbinger a lot earlier than even Starscream would have, and so they stripped it down to the components that Ratchet needed, and even taking the cloning pods as well. So Ratchet, with Decepticon engineering, is actually able to get into some of the old Decepticon files and actually discover that, well, there have been plans for different types of space bridges in the past here, but some of them were just outlandish and never needed during the war here, to which the power generator they required would actually help them get back to Cybertron, or even cross into other dimensional planes. To which Optimus thinks here, what could Megatron be doing? Now, this is where we pan over back to the Decepticons. They're at the same volcano where Unicron was originally, okay? And they're using this as a means to, I guess you could build a base on top of a much more refined area. They have everybody working. the Combaticons, Skyquake, Dreadwing, Soundwave's getting the coordinates provided by Megatron, Starscream, and Thundercracker are actually discussing in the background here. They don't think Megatron is really loyal to whoever they serve here. To which even Thundercracker agrees on this. And Starscream actually makes a point to actually ask Megatron what's he doing. To which Megatron kind of plays with him a little bit, saying, "Whatever do you mean, Starscream? We're simply building a interdimensional space bridge to bring forth our new ally and my master." To which Starscream actually does taunt Megatron here, saying, "A master? Mighty Megatron, you have never served anyone before. What changed your mind all of a sudden? Is the mighty Megatron now going to be someone else's second in command?" And while Megatron doesn't show it, this does kind of eat at him a little bit here. Being somebody else's second in command, being lower than somebody else, something that he may actually be the Starscream of Megatronus. And this doesn't sit right with him here. And he actually thinks to himself, is he really someone's second fiddle? Is he really below this being here? Or is he his equal? He doesn't know. But again, he chooses not to show it and chooses not to let the Dark Spark feel these kind of emotions here. So he keeps them to himself. And so, with that being said here, the interdimensional space bridge is underway. However, they need something a lot more raw and volatile than just regular energon to do it. To which Knockout says, well, they could have used that synthetic energon formula if they ever got it, showing that, again, they never got the synthetic energon formula because with Grimlock there, they actually were able to get the, canister full of, I guess you could say the data canister or the data stream or whatever, and so they don't really have the synthetic energon formula. So Ratchet kind of just has it right now. So this is where Megatron actually notes that I have an idea. And using his dark energon powers here, he actually turns an entire rock into dark energon. And he does it to another, and another. To which, this is where the Decepticons are looking in shock here. Him converting raw materials into dark energon. It's absolutely baffling. And if Shockwave were here, he would say it defies all of science. To which, this is where Megatron has Breakdown and Brawl grind up the dark energon into smaller pieces and put them in the power generator here. This actually gives it a much more darker glow, if you will, here. It gets even a more purplish, darkish glow using the blood of Unicron to power it up here. Plus, I'm not sure how volatile dark energon would be, but considering it is able to corrupt an entire planet of Cybertron, which actually comes around to the dwarf star levels in terms of scaling and stuff like that there, you could actually say that Megatron actually has enough power to, well, make this interdimensional bridge. But in doing so, making all this dark energon shows up on the Autobots' radar. And well, this is where the Autobots definitely think that Megatron is planning to unleash something upon this Earth that they've never encountered here. And so, as the interdimensional space bridge activates, Optimus gives his speech to the Autobots that they're going to be heading into one of the toughest battles of all time. And hopefully, they can end this war here and now. To which Grimlock is more excited than anybody. Finally, a chance to pound Megatron to the dirt permanently. And to which Windblade puts a hand on his shoulder and tells him, just make sure you're in control of yourself. To which he gives her a acknowledging nod. And so, when the Autobots exit the space bridge here, they actually have a decent viewpoint advantage over the Decepticons here. And so, this actually gives them the right line of fire. To which Optimus wastes no time in telling his Autobots to open fire, while Grimlock is the one to transform into his T-Rex form and charge at the Decepticons, while Windblade takes to the air, hoping to lure some of the Decepticons back here. However, Megatron also tells the others to fire, and tells the Combaticons to take on the Dinobot, to which Onslaught gives the command, combine into Bruticus. To which the Combaticons combine, and Grimlock and Bruticus go back at at it back and forth here. Meanwhile, with Windblade giving them so much trouble from the air, Megatron actually orders Skyquake to follow her, with Thundercracker being in suit, giving them a little bit of a strength and speed combination here. To which this actually does prove to be challenging for Windblade, but again, she knows that she has to focus on one before getting rid of the other. And hopefully, she can take out Skyquake rather than Thundercracker. Albeit, it is what it is here for her right now. And so, when it doesn't seem like the blasting is going anywhere, Megatron actually jumps in and actually makes a Dark Energon cannon, blasting the Autobots off of their high perch here and sending them crashing to the ground, to which, when they recover here, everyone transforms into their vehicle modes and speeds at the Decepticons here, to which Megatron just tells everybody, attack. Vehicons, the Decepticons minus Soundwave and Knockout, are actually the ones all attacking, while Optimus goes head to head against this amped up Megatron. And believe it or not, Optimus is actually going all out here, using every fiber of his being and hoping to cause some sort of damage to Megatron here. However, there is one saving grace for Optimus: the dent in Megatron's Unutrium armor. He never got it fixed. He never got it healed because he was so focused on this plan. And Optimus targets it, basically doing what I like to call a breakpoint technique here, targeting the opponent's already exposed weak spot until they drop. And this does work for a little bit on Megatron here, until he starts making Dark Energon weaponry and actually puts a Dark Energon shielding around that one area, meaning Optimus is going to have to try a lot harder to get past Megatron here. However, as the fight continues, Soundwave and Knockout are reaching their conclusion here, and in doing so, RC tries to shoot them, only to be knocked out of the way by Dreadwing here. And in doing so, this kind of just leaves the portal open. And they actually see the portal glow with this black hue here, this black vortex, this voidish color here. And everyone is looking in kind of shock and amazement as some of the Autobots and Decepticons have just stopped fighting to look at this here. And so, one limb after another, Optimus could not believe what is going on here. And he actually sees someone he hoped was long gone, and that being Megatronus Prime. And so Megatronus actually opens his faceplate to reveal himself, and actually says that Megatron did quite well, and you brought him the Prime and the Matrix of Leadership, something that he's been wanting to obtain for such a while here. To which, in doing so, Grimlock actually throws Bruticus right into the interdimensional space bridge, crushing it here. However, it just misses Megatronus by a mark here. To which Megatronus does turn his attention to the Dinobot and actually says, "I've heard of you. You're quite impressive, in fact. Actually, you remind me of my brother, Onyx Prime. Always the physically strongest of us." And as he says that, Grimlock rushes him and actually tries to hit him with a sonic painwave punch, but Megatronus not only blocks it, but the shockwave goes nowhere. It stops completely. And then he retorts that, "But, as always, you were foolish." To which, while Megatronus is struggling to hold that punch back here, he uses his other arm, which has the Requiem blaster on it, and blasts Grimlock with its full strength at point blank range, sending him hurtling, straight up flying like a cartoon character into the walls of a nearby mountain. And that actually leaves every Autobot and Decepticon shocked. And when the Bruticus components disassemble, Swindle can't help but note that that cannon would make a lot of money on the black market. To which Vortex slaps him in the back of the head, saying this is not the time for that. And so, with that being said here, with Optimus seeing their greatest and their heaviest hitter just taken out like that there, this is where Optimus tells the Autobots to fall back. To which Windblade immediately breaks off her fight with Skyquake and Thundercracker and just dashes for Grimlock at that point here, transforming and actually seeing if he's okay. But Grimlock is knocked unconscious and damaged as well here. So she and Bulkhead actually get the big guy out of there with another space bridge that Ratchet created to actually get them out of there, well, at their coordinates here. And in doing so, Megatronus is actually laughing. He's finally free. And he says the Matrix can wait for right now. He's got plans for this world here. And so, the Autobots are now back at base. And they are a little bit shocked here. While Grimlock does, manage to make a recovery thanks to his small healing factor here, he still needs repairs from Ratchet. And in doing so, well, thankfully Ratchet actually understands his biology a bit more here. And so this is where the kids ask, so how did you lose here? And this is actually coming from Miko, who's a bit more enthusiastic about it, about someone being powerful enough to handle the big guy. To which even Grimlock says that, the Requiem Blaster, one of the few weapons the Primes used during the war against Unicron. To which, as Ratchet repairs him, he actually states that he and Perceptor actually used to do some studying on these artifacts during the war here, and says that the Requiem Blaster actually opens vortexes in space and time, and actually draws in space and time to actually blast it, directly at the opponent here. So Grimlock's lucky he wasn't vaporized out of existence. To which Grimlock gets a bit prideful and does say that Megatron did compare him to Onyx Prime in terms of his physicality. And this is where Bulkhead says, while that's good and all for you, we need a way to actually beat this guy. And quickly as well here. Because considering the fact that the lore or the, Primes, the original 13, were known to be literal godlike, they don't have a chance here. To which Optimus says they do. But they have to take a trip back to Cybertron. To which Optimus does ask, are there any Autobots left on Cybertron? To which Ratchet says he doesn't know. But this is where Grimlock chimes in. He knows. There's a few. His team, the Dinobots. The rest of them are on Cybertron as well. They could probably help us, and hopefully there are other Autobots there that are just, chilling and may be willing to help here. To which Optimus says, good. Then Grimlock will be coming with him personally. And this is where he actually states that Windblade will be in charge until he gets back. To which Windblade actually salutes her leader, and well, Optimus and Grimlock go to Cybertron. And man, is it barren. It's almost sad, honestly. They think that maybe they could find a Cybertronian civilization there sometime. Or, well, whichever direction he goes here. To which, this is where Grimlock says, nah, he's got a better idea. To which he transforms into his Dinobot form and actually shoots his fire breath into the air as a beacon. Off in the distance here, there are some people that actually see this. 4 individuals in their respective Dinobot forms. Sludge, Snarl, Swoop, and Slug. To which Swoop is actually the first one to recognize it. It's Grimlock. And Swoop excitedly flies over while the others run towards him here. And in doing so, they attract 2 more Autobots with them here. And well, when Optimus and Grimlock are actually awaiting for hopefully someone's arrival, they are not disappointed as Swoop eagerly tackles Grimlock to the ground and actually hugs him. To which Grimlock actually laughs and then throws Swoop off of him. To which, this is where they're met by the rest of the Dinobots and Ultra Magnus and Jetfire. To which, this is where Ultra Magnus actually salutes his commander, telling him welcome back. And this is where Jetfire actually notes that they've been actually keeping Cybertron, well, their part of Cybertron, a bit stable. Despite the lack of Energon, they've actually made a home for themselves here. To which they ask Optimus a very simple question. Why is he back? And then why is Grimlock back as well here? To which, this is where Grimlock says they're now dealing with the likes of the Fallen. To which Ultra Magnus says that cannot be. And then Optimus tells him with a heavy heart that yes, unfortunately, it is here. They were hoping that they could easily get to the Tomb of the Primes here, and hopefully someone could take them here. And then they'll just be heading back to Earth. To which, this is where the Dinobots actually state that they want to go. They want to go with Grimlock here. They're tired of kind of just being around here and tired of being around Ultra Magnus. And to which, understanding that Grimlock's not even going to get away with this at the moment here, he just says, alright, look, Just come on. I ain't got time to really, deal with this video like that here. So with that being said here, yeah, Grimlock and the Dinobots, along with Optimus, actually travel to the Tomb of the Primes, which is definitely past the Sea of Rust, so they definitely have to encounter some of the remnants of the Decepticon army, or some of the remnants of Shockwave's army, to which they make quick work of it together, and to which Slug says it feels so good to be as a team again here, to which Grimlock says he wouldn't have it any other way here. And so, with that being said here, as they enter the Tomb of Primes, back on Earth, Megatronus feels the disturbance of it. He says that this is impossible. They can't be. No. No, 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 no. He needs to go. And he needs to go to Cybertron now. To which Megatron says, but you are forbidden to. The rules that state that. And this is where, just before Megatron can finish it, he is grabbed by the throat by the Fallen. To which this actually does give a sly smile from Starscream, but then Thundercracker quickly shoulder checks him, and then he says that, so this is what you experience. To which he says, yep, it's kind of funny, ain't it? And to which Megatronus just brings Megatron closer and tells him that he is not going to abide by these rules so long as these pretenders are looking for a way to kill him. And he throws Megatron onto the ground and then tells Soundwave to prepare for a trip to Cybertron, to which Soundwave holds his ground and simply doesn't move here, and to which Megatronus, not wanting to be played with or trifled with in any way, uses his levitation on Soundwave and thrashes him against the wall here. And this is where he tells Knockout to do it instead, to which Knockout, scaredly, actually types in the coordinates to Cybertron. And that's where we're going to leave it off here, you guys here. How is Megatronus going to get defeated in this one? Can the Autobots pull it off here? And how do you feel about Megatron getting the Starscream treatment? But that's going to be all today, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.